President Joe Biden is scheduled to give a primetime speech in Philadelphia tomorrow night. He's going to be addressing, quote, what he called the continued fight for the soul of the nation. That sounds familiar. It's because it is. It was essentially the theme of his 2020 campaign. And this comes as Democrats are looking to revamp their messaging leading up to the midterms and beyond in an attempt to win back voters who feel left behind by where the party has moved in the past few years. One of those Democrats who's been doing a lot of this traveling is Congressman Khanna. He represents Silicon Valley. But as you and I were discussing, you sort of took this mission seriously early on. And when you first got here, essentially the old Stephen Colbert, get to know your districts. And you wanted to get to know a lot of districts. And you'd been doing it this way. Tell me about this trip. What makes this trip a little different?
Well, I went to factory towns, and I wanted to hear what people had to say. There was someone, Fred, who came up with a binder, 80 years old, of 40 plants that had closed in the last 40 years. And he said, look, this destroyed our community. It led to divorce. It led to suicide.
This guy, wait a minute. I want to stop here. Yeah. This guy brought you a binder.
A binder.
Where were you? What town?
It was in Anderson, Indiana, in a union hall. Yeah. And 80 years old. And then he mailed it to me. And part of them, people just want to be heard.
Sure.
I mean, they want to hear what has happened.
That's great
to these
analysis. Because what did he? They went through. Was it just Indiana that he was chronicling, or what?
Just Anderson.
Just Anderson of all the different companies.
All the companies that have moved offshore. And here, and here's the thing. I said, President's talking about making things in America. Someone turned to me and said, I thought that was a Donald Trump thing. I said, no, it was an FDR thing. But part of the challenge has been these communities have a legitimate gripe and grievance. It's that a lot of our production for 40 years has been offshored. And both parties, I mean, yes, it was partly Reagan, but it was both parties are to blame. And it's not just the white working class, it's the black working class, it's the Latino working class.
Right.
And so how are we going to bring that production back? And that's been part of my efforts.
I was just going to say, so give me your diagnosis. Look, I know these voters well. I've seen some surveys among union members all across the Midwest. They have no trust in the Democrats. And yet these are all former Democratic voters. And they were Democratic voters not that long ago. Most of them probably voted for Obama at least once, if not twice. But they've really, whatever it is, Donald Trump really penetrated the working class union Democrat. What did you discover about them?
Well, some of them, it's not just that they have lost hope in Democrats. It's worse than that, Chuck. Some of them have lost hope in the American dream, in the country. And the challenge is, how are we going to convince them that the prosperity, the hope for their kids is going to exist? What I've been saying is, let's have the next generation of production here. We can't make masks in America. We can't make antibiotics in America. It's not just semiconductors. Why can't we produce these things? And by the way, we can be honest. It's not that everything from the past is going to come back, but we can have the next generation of manufacturing here. Singapore is doing it, and we can re-industrialize this country. And that, I think, is one of the best things that the Democrats can do to bring the country together.
So it sounds like what you're saying is there were some things Donald Trump said. Let's not talk about his actual policies, but some things that he said that Democrats should have paid attention to.
I don't know if it's what Donald Trump said, but it's certainly what the voters said.
I was just going to say what the voters heard, and they certainly heard that from him, right?
I think what they heard was our jobs have gone offshore, our jobs and production are no longer in the United States. Fine, but what were his policies? Corporate tax cuts that led to more offshoring. Right. And he didn't have an inclusive vision. I mean, I go there and I say, yes, we have to rebuild America, but it's going to be white working class. It's going to be immigrants. It's going to be the LGBTQ community. It's going to be everyone. And we're going to create new jobs, new economic prosperity. Let's call it a new economic patriotism. I think if it's just simple, we're going to make things in America. We have a forward-looking vision. I think we can win some people back.
Do you think the crowd you talked to, and I think I think you were doing this tour before the debt cancellation happened on colleges. What would this crowd have said about that, do you think, about debt cancellation? And how could you have convinced them that this was actually good for them?
I think some of them may have been opposed in candor, but what I would have said is, look, there are a lot of first-generation families who are getting their debt canceled. There are a lot of union households whose kids go to community college who are going to benefit from this, or college. And by the way, why don't we also have vocational education covered? If you want to make an automobile today, it's a computer on wheels. You're going to need some technical education. Let's cover that as well. Let's have education for for everyone. But I think, look, when I go to these towns, I talk about being pro-choice and I talk about LGBTQ equality. I don't shy away from what I believe. But I say we may disagree on certain issues, but we can all agree that we've got to rebuild America. America needs to lead, and we have a vision for that.
You know, it sounds like that once they were able to hear what your pitch was, and essentially here's what I'm for. They're like, I got no problem with that. But I'm guessing they don't hear this, right? Like, you're probably the first Democrat that's attempted to come to this community in a while. Is this a media consumption thing? Is there something different Democrats can do to talk to these voters so that they hear everything and not just the caricatures?
Well, I think we have to go into some of the red communities, red states. I mean, someone said, why are you going to Anderson, Indiana? We're never going to win that. I said, that's precisely why I'm going. But we also need people from the coast going there. They may see Tim Ryan there. They may see Sherrod Brown there. But here they have this Indian-American guy from Silicon Valley saying, you know, we need to produce things here. We need to make sure that we're working together. And I think it's not just about the jobs. People want this country to come together. They want us to be able to root for America. And that gives them hope.
You know, you have this optimism about you. When you hear at the same time, we're going to have some harsh rhetoric with these midterm elections. MAGA Republicans, semi-fascism. Are you comfortable with some of this rhetoric? And do you think it's the right call?
Well, Truman called Dewey a fascist. This is American politics.
Oh, I have no doubt. Look, the words, I'm not saying they won't be uttered. I guess the question is, should they be?
I tend to be more hopeful, and we're all a product of our experience. I grew up in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. It was a largely white community. There were a lot of people who believed in me. I tend to emphasize the hopeful part of America. That doesn't mean we don't call out things that are wrong. We don't call out people taking documents, classified documents, or interfering with the judicial process. But I think what people want to know is, why is American democracy still the greatest, and what can we do to keep it that way? All
right, you're touring the country, so folks are going to assume, do you want to run for national office? I assume the answer to that is yes, but when?
Well, I want to support President Biden in economic patriotism. He should adopt, and he's free to steal any of my ideas, and I'd like to be out there surrogating for him around the country. But, you know, I wish more people would go around the country from different districts.
My God, if we just had a little more personal interaction, I think everybody would realize the temperature would suddenly drop in this town dramatically. Khanna, Democrat from Silicon Valley, California. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.